Nicely, Denade. Welcome, Inakusha and Akabo. Greetings, Akwaba. Karibu, karibu sana. Assalamu alaikum. Bienvenue. Inakusha o Gradifo Yisi Inadewitwi. Yes, we are going to continue going on. This is the African Ancestral Manuscript Jellybot channel. We will, as we always do, be reading from the sacred African Ancestral Manuscript text. Getting in touch with the ancestors from all across Africa, the continent, and the diaspora. All the way across the world, our African influence is vast and uncalculable, but we have a list and a gathering of ancestors who are worthy of celebration. And that's what we are going to be doing. We're going to be celebrating them as we should celebrate them, in their divinity and their whole greatness, and in who they truly are and what they truly did. So welcome, bienvenue. Today we're going to keep on going and we're going to keep on celebrating the ancestors that have created a great effervescence for us to shine in. Yes, my name is Unblind Tibin. The book I'm reading from is the African Ancestral Manuscript, published by me in 2016. I do ask you also to pick up and purchase Broken Coconuts in Our Grandmother's Grave, which is my most recent text about my grandmother. It's everywhere to be found. Currently, I have some on the way. I sold out of my last author's copies, and they will be on the way. Even tomorrow, they should be here. So do pick up that book. In the meanwhile, let's continue to provide you with that spiritual food. I am the Jellyba. The Jellyba appears to the people, especially the young people, when they're in danger of drifting into an inconsequential, unresonating frequency that leads them to nothing. And this society is full of nothing. Mental health is going down the drain, depression, suicide, everything else is up in the rafters because people don't have what they need in order for spiritual healing. The ancestors are going to provide you with that healing, and they're going to provide you with that apexical example for you to look forward to achieve great things in your life. So let's keep on going. Yunakusha and Akabo. I'm going to talk today about another ancestor. We are in May, and in May we've had a couple of ancestors so far. This ancestor we're going to talk about right here, he's wearing the crown because he was a king. King Abraha from the kingdom of Abyssinia, ancient Ethiopia, that was never colonized by the Europeans. The African nation, one of the only African nations never to be colonized, and to have the most ancient form of Christianity. See, this cross is the Ethiopian cross, the Orthodox Church in Ethiopia that is strictly linked to the Coptic churches, the churches of Africa, divine churches such as the church in Lalibela, rock-hewn churches in the ground, in the stone, which was great fractals. We used the African cosmology and epistemology to create those things. So let's find out who he was. I'm going to be reading, and it's important that we read because they used to say in order to hide something from black people, we put it into a book. But no longer should be the reality. Let's read everything we can, everything meaningful to us. Let's impregnate our spirit with the awareness from our reading. Let's meditate upon what we read. And let's actualize the positive aspects of what we read into our lives. So let's see who Abraha was. Abraha Giz, also known as Abraha al-Masran or Abraha as-Saba, was the Aksumite Christian ruler of Abyssinia in Ethiopia. He was a proud African from modern-day Ethiopia. Abraha also seized control of Yemen from Esiphaeus. Now let's not get it twisted. It was not Ethiopia that was under the dominion of Yemen. It was Yemen that was under the dominion of Ethiopia. Ethiopia was the master queendom from which Sheba emerged, and she did not emerge from Yemen. She emerged from Ethiopia. It was just that Ethiopia at that time was governing Yemen. Abraha seized control of Yemen from Esiphaeus, the Christian Himarite viceroy appointed by Caleb, his superior king, with the support of the dissident elements in the Ethiopian occupation force eager to settle in the Yemen, then rich and fertile land. It was then very rich and fertile, not as desertified or desert as it is today. Abraham seized power, establishing himself at Sana and proclaiming Christianity. He aroused the wrath of Caleb, however, by withholding tribute, and Caleb sent his general Ariat once again to take over the governorship of Yemen. Abraham rid himself of the latter by strategic move in a duel in which Ariat was killed, and Abraham suffered the injury which earned him the nickname of Al-Ashram, or the Scarface. He has some scarifications, just like I have. And that's what his name was, the Scarface. After this, Caleb had to accord him recognition. Abraham's rule was confirmed by Caleb's successor, Emperor Beta Ezrael, in return for a tribute, and he went on to become an outstanding figure in Yemen history, ruling efficiently and promoting the cause of Christianity in the face of Judaism prevalent in Yemen and the pre-Islamic religions of Central Arabia. Abraham also led an expedition against Mecca. At this period, Mecca was the thriving center of the pre-Islamic religion, the Kaaba, and the pilgrim traffic was in the hands of the powerful Quraysh family. Fired with Christian zeal, Abraham set out to build a magnificent church at Sana to serve as a counter-attraction to the surrounding pre-Islamic peoples. This aroused the hostility of the Quraysh, who feared the pilgrim traffic with its rich offerings would be moved to Sana. It is sometimes said that one of their followers succeeded in defiling the church, and this led Abraham to embark upon a campaign against Mecca. He had no fear in his heart. He was going to go against Mecca. This event is associated in Islamic tradition with the year of the Prophet's birth, 570 AD. Abraham is said to have used elephants. Remember, who else? It's only African people who use elephants. The African elephant can only be tamed by African kings, as has been proved by Hannibal and Carthage. So this event is associated in Islamic tradition with the year of the Prophet's birth, 570 AD. Abraham is said to have used elephants in the campaign, and the date is celebrated as the year of the elephant, Am al-Fil. An indirect reference to the event is found in the Surah 105 of the Quran. Abraham's expedition probably failed due to the successful delaying tactics of the Quraysh and sickness that broke out in the camp, which killed most of his army and forced him to withdraw. Abraham also had an inscription on the Marib Dam in Yemen, on which he did major repairs. He received envoys from the king of Byzantium, from Persia, and from Harith. Abraham's rule was a period of prosperity and security in Ethiopia. The royal title adopted by Abraham is similar to that of his predecessors and to that of Emperor Caleb as king of Sheba, like the queen of Sheba. The date of Abraham's transition to the ancestral realm was immediately after his expedition to Mecca. He was succeeded on the throne by two of his sons, Yaksum and Mazruk, born to him by Rahania, an Abyssinian noblewoman, whom Abraham had wed. Abraham was one of the most and best reputed rulers of his time. In the lineage of Ethiopia, remember the great Saba, the great civilization, the great empire, the queen of Sheba. It was Sheba, and he was one of the great rulers. Let us not invert the matrix and say that Yemen ruled over Ethiopia. Ethiopia ruled over Yemen, and Ethiopia was the motherland for taking over Yemen and ruling over that civilization as a part of Ethiopia. Ethiopia being the land of the blacks. Literally in the Greeks, Ethiopia means the land of the blacks. Just like Kemet meant the land of the blacks, so does Ethiopia. Always when civilizations are in power, they call it the land of the blacks. So peace and blessings in the name of Abraham, a great king who ruled Abyssinia and all the way to Sana in Yemen. Let us continue to rule and to govern ourselves with truth and the essence, regardless of what religion we are, African people. We go in the essence of Christianity. We go to the source. We go to the beneficent aspects of that religion so we can be uplifted. And that's what Abraham was doing. And he was struggling and he was fighting and he was making his name known. So let's make our name known. Let's give thanks. Denise Stalin, to Abraham, Denader. I'd like to say Lala Salama to all the Massive and crew. We're still in the TDAT 416. I'd like to say Stoika, Stoigu, Ilef Payu. We forgot to say il, but we'll say it now. When I say il, you say ow. Il, ow. Stoika, Stoigu, Ilef Payu. That's Abraham. That's what he did. He's a living ancestor who we can draw inspiration from and continue to grow with. Dwell in the terror for our ancestors, dwell for the Egungun, dwell for the Shepsu. May they continue to bless us and to continue to uplift, inspire, and enlighten our day-to-day activities. Dwell in the terror. Peace and blessings to all the massive. Kerunefer, Lala Salama, Odabo, Bunri, Kerunefer, and the blessings of the great King Abraham. I'd like to say, Salam, Salam, Salam. May peace be upon you forevermore. May you realize your inner peace to guide yourself with truth. Ashe, 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 Ashe.